Good morning, everyone. Now I would like to talk about the Copenhagen criteria and Turkey's Eurasian Union Association journey that Turkey's wish to join European Union. And this topic is important because it reflects not only the political and economical relations between the European Union and the Turkey, but also the question of democracy, human rights, and the reforms that can truly shape a country's future. And Turkey first applied for European Union membership. It was in 1987 and became an official candidate country in 1999. After the already 12 years. And since then, the journey has been full of progress, challenges, and sometimes frustrations. Also, in a presentation, I will explain what the Copenhagen criteria are and how Turkey was trying to meet them, and also what obstacles it has faced, and Turkey still has a chance to become a part of the European family or not. We will try to answer for this question. And at first question, what the Copenhagen criteria is? The Copenhagen criteria were established in 1993 by the European Council in Copenhagen. They define what that every country must achieve before joining the European Union. There have some criteria that they should to follow. The three main criteria was the political, that the strong democratic institutions, rule of law, and the protection of human rights and the minorities, and also economically, a functioning market economy able to compete within the European Union countries. That economy also can't be weak than European Union countries' economy. In here also have some functions, and also the legal or administrative. Third one is the ability to adapt and apply European Union's laws. And now the excuse of community, apply rule of law like this one, and this criteria are not just a technical something, but it's they represent the care of values of European Union, that European Union cares the democracy of the people, democracy of the minority, also citizens, and the stability that in a country that want to be joined the European Union, there have stability, no wars, and be in a good relations with other countries, and also the freedom and also there has so many questions why Ukraine can't join European Union. It's also because of the not stability, because the European Union want stability from the joining countries. Now, we will talk about the political side, that there also have some criteria that country need to ensure. At first, the free and fair elections without any corruption, any like this openly or closely things. It should be free and fair elections, and also freedom of speech and the assembly, because in many countries there have a gap. In Turkey also, freedom of speech, freedom of the people, freedom of the citizens' opinion is not in a freely, and also independent judiciary and the protection for minorities. Turkey has taken many steps towards the democratization, introducing themselves like a multi-party elections, local reforms, and the civil society initiatives. But but European Union still have serious concerns. There have some issues like media censorship and the political pressure and also human rights violations, especially after the 2016, after the coup attempt. There was some problems in Turkey, and how I already said, the freedom of speech, all things like elections, not get the all points of in a criteria European Union. And an economic criteria like moving on the economy, the European Union requires the country should have a functioning market economy and the ability to compete inside the European market. And Turkey has a strong private sector in a large population, and the customs union with the European Union started to 1995, and it allows a free trade in industrial goods, but there also have gaps, economic gaps like economic instability, high inflation, and the political interference in financial institutions that slow the progress. The European Union expects from the Turkey like transparency, predictability, and independent economic governance. So in economy also Turkey quite advanced, but not fully aligned with European Union standards. But there are some maybe questions can be. All things is good, like politically Turkey is trying, economically also trying, and and why Turkey can't be member of European Union. Let's look the last criteria of European Union at like a legal administrative criteria. Next one is we have I already said legal and administrative criteria. This means that adapting European Union's laws and ensuring that institutions can actually implement them. Turkey has made a progress in a legal and administrative area like environmental policy, consumer protection, and customs regulations. But also the many negotiations chapters remain frozen, like mostly because of political tensions and the unresolved Cyprus issues. Without the solving like these Cyprus issues or like this one, like little political problems, the legal alignment can also go so far, and it's also hard to join European Union. And main challenge that Turkey faced today is limited press freedom and the government control over the media, lack to the full judicial independence, human rights, and especially regarding the minorities and the political dissent, and the Cyprus conflicts like directly affect relations with European Union members, and the challenge like explain why Turkey's European Union path has slowed down and why the European Union remains about the enlargement and the current situation. So where do things stand today, and in which situation today? Currently, association negotiations are suspended, and Turkey remains an official candidate country, and cooperation continues in some areas like trade, migration, security with the European Union. And without the active negotiation, both sides are still depend on each other. That Turkey is not a member of European Union, but they are dependent on each other, and Turkey is a key player in regional stability, energy routes, and the migration, and the relationship between the European Union and Turkey is continued, even if membership is not on the table right now. And also have some developments, not joining European Union, but like visa facilitations, like Turkish citizens can now get them multiple entry Schengen visas more easily. It is easy to get for Turkish citizens also, and the customs union modernization, like discussions are ongoing to expand cooperation and service, and political reforms also, like some Turkish opposition parties have promised to restart European Union association talks if they come to power. And this development shows that even though the process has slowed, process is now maybe like a stopped, it hasn't ended. The relation between the European Union and Turkey is developed and continued nowadays also. But like both sides are keeping the door open for future opportunities. But there are some, it's like my idea why European Union need a Turkey, and also some disagreements, like Turkey already get a full standards of European Union, but European Union don't want to Turkey like a member, because Turkey is a Muslim country. there are 75-90% of Muslims. Maybe they are requiring themselves like modern Muslims, but it means that there are Muslims, and the European Union countries, there are Catholics, not in a Muslim religion, and it also can be criteria that they don't say it's in like a causal criteria. And to conclude, the Copenhagen criteria, like joining to the European Union, Turkey has achieved a lot, like especially in economic and administrative areas, but still struggles with the political and human rights, how European Union said. But politically, Turkey is like a presidential country, and in political also Turkey trying, but European Union don't want to get a member of Turkey. And also the future of Turkey's and the European Union membership depends on two things, like Turkey continue to democratic and institutional reforms, and the European Union remains open to enlargement in a changing political climate. But it's also so hard, and it's so hard to say that can Turkey ever join to the European Union. And also, in my opinion, it's maybe possible, but not yet, not nowadays, and not soon. Turkey is geographically, historically, economically linked to Europe, but full membership will only happen if deep political reforms are made, especially in an area of like maybe religion or something else, but not right now, I think. And maybe it will be happen in one day, because nowadays the policy is changed, and the relationship between United States and the European Union is getting to a little bit hard, and maybe in like these cases Turkey can be joined European Union, because European Union also need to the military help, and how Turkey's military is state in a second place in a whole world, and they're very strong, and also Turkey located in a middle of, in my understanding, in the middle of whole world, because the Middle East, Asia, and the European countries are like neighbor countries of Turkey.